Hello, traders. This is Michael coming to you from GammaEdge on Tuesday, March 18th with our pre-market morning strategy and briefing session. As always here at GammaEdge, we start with our three pillars: sentiment, structure, and trend. Again, looking at our market trend model to start off the presentation. We continue to see the bolded CT, which is our instantaneous intraday tick look, continue from lower left to upper right to the upside in a bullish state. We do see our moving averages stacked in the proper order and lower left to upper right with a nice closing above the previous day close. So we come into the day with a bullish stance looking at the overall cumulative tick and the filtered cumulative tick. We did see increased institutional buying for the past 2 days. Caveat is we are running into the colored ribbon, which is a negative slope. Historically, we have seen some sort of consolidation or possible pullback as we run into this colored ribbon overhead. Or the other outcome would be that we emerge through this colored ribbon to the upside and we continue changing the colored ribbon to positive slopes, and then we start a longer term uptrend within the overall market. So we're kind of at a decision point really in the overall market with the market trend model as well as the sentiment and structures you'll see heading forward in this presentation. So we come in today with a bullish outlook on the tick and the market model, but we're also approaching this with some caution as we move into this colored ribbon with the opportunity for consolidation or quickly a failure. Which would be the CT moving back below the moving averages. So if you were started some progressive exposure long with leveraged ETFs in the overall market, you would exit those positions very rapidly. Again, we'll watch this intraday. We did see new highs barely outpace new lows, so a slight tick towards the bullish look. But again, if you look back over multiple days, we did have new lows outpacing new highs significantly. So really not a large improvement in the market breadth as we're seeing it. So we'd like to see an overall expansion of market breadth to the upside and see the new highs extremely outpace new lows and continued institutional participation in filtered cumulative tick buying with our market trend model. Moving on, the SPX all expiries turned on. We did see an overall slight improvement in the left-hand plane, which is below spot price. We did see some closing of those out of the money puts as spot price moved up and then exposing some of the in-the-money calls below us. This can be supportive type action if it continues, but we are put dominated again within the overall SPX all expiries. We did see a slight improvement in the GEX ratio. We're back up to 0.61, but not a significant improvement as spot price moved higher. So this is indicating that we do not have a significant amount of out-of-the-money call speculation above spot price. We are still in the money put dominated largely above spot price. So again, it'll be difficult for price to move up into this environment unless we see some sort of significant change in the overall sentiment and structure. As of now, the transition on the all expires is drawn at 57.05, which is where we pretty much capped price yesterday. We see PGEX at that level and then INGEX down at 56.50. That's why I posted in voice chat this morning, 56.50 is going to be extremely important to the lower side. If we get below that and stay below that for a significant amount of time, I'd anticipate more weakness, possibly down towards 56.25 and 5600. So we'll monitor that throughout the day. But again, a slight increase in the overall bullish look of the structure, but not enough for us to push it towards looking like we're going to be a significant sustained uptrend at the moment, as again stating that we're approaching the day with caution, even though we've had a slight improvement in the overall market. SPX P0 DTE, we are put dominated compared to walking in yesterday where we were call dominated. Again, transitions, understanding where those are at, DEX and GEX, they are overlaid and perfectly aligned. So we do have a major confluence of the DEX and GEX transition, as well as the drunken sailor range. This doesn't happen that often, but when it does, obviously the levels become extremely important because of the confluence and overlays of these transitions. If we're going to move to the upside, again, I stated this yesterday, we had to get above transition. 57.10 is that transition level and where PGEX is at. We're going to need to get above that. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so we'll have to get above those levels for transition there, overlays, and move to the upside. And to the downside, we'll be watching the 5660, 5650 level, obviously confluence of transitions down there, as well as PGEX. Understanding that if we get it below those levels, most likely we'll probably see some more weakness creep in. We'll be watching the vol command throughout the day. If we do see negative slopes on the call and put centroids, that would indicate that market participants are speculating lower in the overall complex. We do have some in-the-money calls below us. This could be supportive type action again, but as spot price moves down, remember moneyness matters, and these in-the-money calls can become out of the money, and again, we could get some more weakness down towards 5,600. We see the bottom of the expected move there, the uninformed expected move at 5610. So just a confluence down there of levels that I'd anticipate us to most likely hold if we move down towards there. But again, if we see significant weakness and significant vol negative slopes on the centroids, the market participants may be speculating to the downside further. Net stack command inlay, we see that 5650 again, 5660 is extremely important on the left-hand plane strike. And then we see the net Vanna there at 5650, and now the money calls at 5710. The importance of getting above that 5700, 5710 level for us to have an opportunity to move to the upside with some sort of Vanna move, as well as out of the money call speculation. Closing of in the money puts above us, and then out of the money call speculation. Unfortunately, we see the SPX delta balance not recovering slightly, but then projected on out in time weakening. So again, that's why we're approaching the day with extreme caution, as we've seen a 2-day bounce. But we're not seeing that bullish change in market structure and sentiment that we would want to see for a sustained uptrend. That can change intraday, but as of now, our caution flag is up, as we price appreciation may not be appropriate significantly for today, trying to get above 5,700 or 5,710. So let's head over to our trading view chart. I've updated it with our if-thens for today. You can see that the overall GEX and DEX transition, I've talked about confluence overlay as well as the drunken sailor range. So again, getting above 5,700, 5,710 is going to be extremely important if we're going to have an opportunity to move to the upside. We see the confluence there of negative GEX, 5,650, and then we're below the transitions and drunken sailor range as the projected open at the moment. We are at actually 5,653. You can see down here, we came down to 5,650 and bounced. So important level heading into the open, as we discussed, 5,650, have all the trades set up here. My most advantageous trade would be long above 5710 with a target 5720, 5725, 5740. This is my lowest probability trade at the moment, though, due to the sentiment and structure. Again, unless we see a significant amount of out-of-the-money call speculation come in, I'm anticipating that we're going to be stuck below transition or in transition and chopping around these levels for the most part of the morning, and then we'll see how the rest of the tools play out and see if market participants are speculating to the upside or to the downside. If we get rejected here at 5660 or 5665 and the vol command and MTM are pointing down, I'd take an opportunistic short, and then below 5650 I'd anticipate us to move down towards 5625 and 5630. That may be the easiest trade this morning. Heading into the open, if we do see some sort of rejection and weakness within the overall complex structure and the tools. So we'll watch that for today. So SPX game plans posted, single stock game plan or single stock discussion will be posted in a few minutes. Make sure everybody is checking that out. And with that, let's have a great day, and we'll be in Discord in a few minutes to answer any questions. Thanks, everybody.